Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GMAT out of this book here, the GMAT Review, the official guide. If you do not own this book already, and if you're thinking about studying for GMAT, it is important, it is imperative that you purchase this book immediately. You will find it at mba.com. Excuse me. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 176, problem solving, number 177. Let's take a look at it. It's important that you have the book in front of you so that you can read the problem with me. Otherwise, it will not make any sense. Read the problem with me. It will help you. A company accountant estimates, if for no other reason than for the only fact that, well, how should I broach the subject? Broach is the word, which means to approach or to talk about something delicate. If you don't know, look it up. And I'm not putting it there on the blackboard because I expect everybody who's watching this thing would not know the word. I'm talking about there are many people whose first language is not English, and therefore it's for their benefit that I put these words if I find that they may have difficulty understanding it. And even if your first language, even if your native language is English, and if you don't know the word, it does not hurt to expand one's vocabulary. It is actually a good idea. Pick up a dictionary and learn it properly. It just means to talk about something very delicate, something of a very delicate nature, something of a very, very sensitive nature. So I don't know how to broach the subject to you, but it's important that you have the book in front of you. It will help you that much more because I do have a slight accent, which means that you may have trouble understanding me all of the time. Let's read the problem with me. A company accountant estimates that the airfare next year for the business trip of 1,000 miles or less will increase by 20%. All right. So for 1,000 miles, we have two kinds of trips. 1,000 miles or less, we are told that those will increase by 20% next year. And the airfare for all other trips will increase by 10%. So let's call them trips which are more than 1,000 miles. These are less than 1,000 miles, and these will increase by 10%. All right. So far, so good. Don't read the whole problem in one shot. Read the part of it, read the sentence, you read part of the sentence, digest it, absorb it, understand it before you read the next part. This year I'm told that the total airfare for the business trip of 1,000 miles or less were 9,900. 9,900. And the airfare for all other business trips were 13,000. So far so good. According to the accountant's estimate, if the same number of business trips will be made next year as this year, how much will be spent for the airfare next year? Oh, fair enough. Let's take a look at it. So this amount is going to go up by 20%. So I have to increase this by 20%. It's 9,900 is what is given to me. I'm just going to pretend that this is 10,000. If you have watched any of my previous clips, on some occasions, on a few occasions, there is one point that I try to drive home, which is that when you're taking the GMAT, keep two things in mind. There are two things that I always say to myself that I'm not doing when I'm taking the GMAT. If you remember from my previous clip, you probably would recite right now with me. One is that I tell myself when I'm taking the GMAT, one thing that I'm not doing for sure is that I'm not performing an open heart surgery. Second thing I'm not doing for sure is I'm not setting a satellite in the sky. In other words, precision is not required here. You cannot be very sloppy, but you do not have to waste your time trying to figure out nitty-gritty details. I have seen people who, if it's a money problem, they waste so much time trying to figure out the exact answer down to a penny so that they can match their answer with the answer choices that is given. It is unnecessary. It is silly. They're not trying to see how quickly you can add or subtract or divide or multiply. They're just trying to see how quickly you can think. You have to understand the point of the exam. So it is 10,000, it's 9,900, I'm going to pretend it's 10,000. It is going up by 20%, so this 10,000 is going to go up to 12,000. You see how simple it is? And this is going up by 10%, so this 13,000, 10% of 13,000 is 1,300. Is it 13,000? Let me take a look at it quickly one more time. It is 13,000. So if it goes up 10% of 13,000, this is my 13,000, 10% is 1,300. When I add 1,300 to it, I get 14,300. So this 13,000, when I increase it, it becomes 14,300. It's close enough. So that's the sum. That's it. That's my answer. So 12 plus 14, 12 plus 12 is 24, so it's 26.3. That's it. That's my answer. Whatever comes closest to it, I'm going to pick it. Now keep in mind, having said that, you have to keep in mind in your head that this is overestimate. This is not an underestimate. The actual number was 9,900. So the correct answer, whatever it is, it's not going to be 26,300, but it's going to be slightly less than that. Slightly less than that. Let's look at the answer choices. The correct answer, whatever it is going to be just slightly less than 26,300. That rules out 22.9. There you go, 26,180. That's your answer. That's it. Because C is actually more than 26,000. It's not going to be more because we are overestimating it. Instead of 9,900, I took 10,000. So the correct answer, whatever it is going to be under 26.3. That's too much. D is even more, and E is even more. The answer is B. That's all. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to buy my DVDs, or if you wish to hire me for personal private tutoring, in either case, go to my website at www.prep for GMAT.com. Send me an email and we'll talk. Alright? Thank you.